Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. If you could please rise and join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Griscoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Kicker.
Here.
Councilmember Demmer. Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Wells.
Here.
Mayor Cook.
Here.
One absent, Demmer.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is to adopt this evening's agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Geisler, second by Wells. Discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. And the first item then is to turn it over to Chief Wise.
Mr. Mayor, thank you. Of course, in this pandemic, everything is different. We are doing an introduction of our new officers as we have traditionally done. It's important, though, if you're going to do an introduction, that people actually see their faces. So we're trying to stay the 6 feet separation, but mindful of the idea that we have a serious pandemic going on. And then I'll also add to the audience is that there are some immediate family members representing each group, and they're obviously all aware of the social distancing. So I just want to send an important message to the community that it's important to mask up at times that are appropriate if you got to be close to 6 feet. So that said, let's go to the real event. Mayor, council, city staff, citizens of Coon Rapids. As the Coon Rapids Police Chief, I'd like to take a few minutes this evening to formally introduce our newest police officers, honoring their graduation from our field training program, which occurred amidst a pandemic that placed this important ceremony on hold for a couple of months. It is worthwhile that we do this as the relationship police officers have with our citizens is significant in that it serves as the foundation of our collective sense of safety and security here in Coon Rapids. This event is an important part of the process where new officers see firsthand that they enjoy the unyielding support of their community and the city council, and they need to feel that and be a part of that. Tonight I'm introducing officers Andrew Olson and John Ormston. Andrew, on my left, was born and raised in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, and graduated from Champlain Park High School during that short-lived time when a part of Coon Rapids was in their attendance area. After high school, he enlisted in the United States Army, where he served 3 years with distinction. He was honorably discharged and began working construction while pursuing an interest he had developed in law enforcement by starting his college path to this career. Along what I'll describe as his irregular way, he and his wife simultaneously took to fostering children who had serious medical needs, a challenge they have together taken on for many years and continue to do so. As he completed phases of his law enforcement education, eventually earning a BA in criminal justice from Metro State University, Andrew took on temporary law enforcement and security jobs until the right opportunity came along. Ultimately, the right opening arrived, and Andrew accepted a job here in Coon Rapids, where he is providing an essential service to his hometown. John Ormston, to my right, was born in Maplewood, Minnesota, and moved to Coon Rapids when he was 16. He graduated from my alma mater, Coon Rapids High School, where he had taken law classes in the STEP program, their secondary technical education program, and it was at CRHS that he developed a passion for police work. Again, it sort of speaks to the work of our high school in trying to expose kids to career opportunities, the biomed and engineering program in particular. After high school, John attended Alexandria Technical College, where he earned an AAS in law enforcement. Meanwhile, to support himself, he began working a variety of retail and service jobs, one which included a stint as a roofing laborer. And I highlight both of these young men as they become a part of our police force is that working service jobs like that helps broaden their base of knowledge, and I really like that. And especially as myself, who was a roofing laborer for a period of time, that's hard work, and I'm sure he appreciates not doing that any longer. In 2015, he landed a job with the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, where he began his career as a detention deputy. His self-described niche was working in the mental health and segregation units of the detention center, where he said he enjoyed the challenge of working with the highest needs inmate. Very useful knowledge for him these days. Eventually became a sworn officer for the sheriff's office and transferred to the water patrol unit. As he makes Coon Rapids his home, once the opportunity came to be a police officer in his hometown, he successfully pursued us and stands before you today. We are very happy to have Andrew and John become members of our department. Their first day as patrol officers began way back in January. Since that time, they have been trained and evaluated on a daily basis, pushed to excel at meeting the needs of our community and the state standards that exist out there in our world order. Our training program is designed to be extremely stressful process to be certain we've hired the right people, and in Andrew and John, we believe we have done just that, which leads us to where we are now. Andrew and John, tonight you are officially graduating from our field training program. Symbolically, we removed your trainee badges as you've now earned your permanent badges of number 166 and 167 respectively. Two things about this badge. First, it represents the faith that the many people have in you through your training and education here at the department, and I would add to it the faith that the community and the council has in you as well. Secondarily, never forget that this badge belongs to the citizens of Coon Rapids, and wear it ethically and honorably. It's essential that you do those things. There are very high expectations placed on you by your community, and I'm absolutely confident both of you are well prepared to meet those expectations. You have become members of a proud organization of dedicated professionals, and on behalf of that organization, I welcome you to our police department family. Know that your peers and colleagues will do all they can to help you succeed, especially me. So with that, Mr. Mayor, we're going to have you do the first oath of office to Andrew Olson, and his wife Heidi is going to be pinning his badge. So if you could step down and keep your 6-foot distance, I think we'll be good.
I guess I've lost track. I thought we'd pinned first. It's been a while. All right, we'll see how, I don't have quite a 6-foot arm, but we'll see how we do. If you would raise your right arm and repeat after me. Right arm. Right hand. Thank you. Let's do it. I, Andrew Olson, do solemnly swear
I, Andrew Olson, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and discharge faithfully
and discharge faithfully
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police officer
for the city of Coon Rapids,
for the city of Coon Rapids,
in the county of Anoka,
in the county of Anoka,
and the state of Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Actually, Mr. Mayor, I think in hindsight, you are right. I think we do the badge first and then the oath, but we'll get that done this go around. And then for John, it'll be his fiancee Katie, so Katie. And make sure I get the right badge to the right office.
Is that what we're gonna do this time? Yes. I just do whatever Chief Wise said. So, you would please raise your right hand. I, John Ormston,
I, John Armisen,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and discharge faithfully
and discharge faithfully
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police
for
officer
the city of Coon Rapids,
for the city of Coon Rapids,
in the county of Anoka,
in the county of Anoka,
and the state of Minnesota,
and the state of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for letting us do this in the modified way that we were able to. But like I said, I'm sure all of you feel the importance, given world events, that the community knows and understands, and get some background to the officers that serve them. So thank you again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right, we are up to approval of the minutes of the previous meeting.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Wells, second by Kicker. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes of the July 7th, 2020 meeting, signify by saying aye.
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 Abstain.
Opposed? And the motion carries. One abstention, Councilmember Griscoviac. All right, we have two items on our consent agenda this evening. The first one is to adopt Resolution 20-64, a trust agreement. The attached resolution and trust agreement authorizes the transfer of a trust established in August 2007 from Wells Fargo Bank to U.S. Bank for the provision of employee welfare benefits pursuant to one or more employee welfare benefit plans described in the trust agreement, and this trust holds the city's HRA contributions for eligible current city employees and retirees. So this first item will be authorization of Resolution 20-64, adopting the trust agreement. And then item 4, which is the second item on our consent agenda, is to adopt Resolution 20-65, establishing new polling location for Precinct 5-4. And this is the one that did vote at the Emma B. Howe YMCA, but were unable to use their building anymore because of the COVID-19 restrictions. So staff reached out to the Spirit of Grace Church, which is the polling location for Precinct 3-4. And Pastor Tim Sanders graciously offered to allow us the use of space in their building to vote Precinct 5-4. So this means that both Precincts 3-4 and 5-4 will vote at Spirit of Grace Church. Since the remodel expansion of Spirit of Grace, there is additional room to add Precinct 5-4, and it is located within 1 mile of the boundary of Precinct 5-4 and therefore meets the requirements to be utilized as a polling location for Precinct 5-4. We are very grateful to the leadership and congregation of Spirit of Grace for the willingness to accommodate the community by allowing use of their building as a polling location for 2 of our voting precincts. All registered voters in Precinct 5-4 will receive a postcard in the mail indicating that they now vote at Spirit of Grace Church. So we're looking to adopt Resolution 20-65, a resolution establishing the polling location for Precinct 5-4 at Spirit of Grace Church, 10110 Woodcrest Drive. So the takeaway on this is if you did vote at Emma B. Howe, you now vote at Spirit of Grace, assuming you haven't moved or something.
Yep.
That is correct. Thank
Okay.
you.
Your Honor,
Councilmember Johnson?
I'd move adoption of the 2 items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Wells. Any discussion or further clarification? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that is adopted. And we are spinning right up to open mic. Wow, we got here in a hurry. Is anybody here to address council this evening for open mic? All right, nobody here to address council for open mic? All right, so then item 5 on this evening's agenda is the open mic response for Ms. Bernice Olson. She spoke at the open mic portion of the July 7th City Council meeting to express concerns related to parking on 121st Northwest and asked council to review the safety implications of continuing to allow on-street parking in the area. And this has come up multiple times, certainly. The Traffic Review Committee met on July 14th, 2020 to discuss several items, including the request for no parking signs on the north side of 121st Avenue west of Hanson. A similar request was reviewed by the committee in 2015. No accidents were reported in the area between 2010 and 2015, and the committee determined no parking signs were not warranted. After staff review, the committee still does recommend implementing no parking on the north side of 121st Avenue in this area. Police department staff will search recent accident records for review and report back any additional findings. 121st Avenue is designed wide enough to allow on-street parking, and the speeds and traffic volumes are both low enough for safe parking. The committee believes southbound traffic, residents that live north of 121st Avenue in the townhome areas, has the opportunity to stop and then pull forward slightly to see around the occasional parked vehicle. Occasional, they are there like always. The committee discussed adding signs such as no parking from here to corner at strategic locations. It was determined that this would add too many additional signs and become a maintenance issue over time. So the Traffic Review Committee's recommendation is no additional parking restrictions at this location. One paragraph was confusing. I thought that they actually did recommend it there, but apparently not. So this item is for informational purposes only and as a response to the Ms. Olson's open mic topic. So with that, we're up to other business. Burned right through this meeting. It seems like the Saturday night cruise, for whatever reason, has gotten calmer, whether it's the police presence, whether it's having the ice center, whether people have given up writing to me, I'm not sure, but it's.
They're still writing to me.
Are they?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But we get feedback from all over. My wife works at the U of M hospital, and one of the patients there was talking about how much fun he and his wife had coming out to Coon Rapids for the Saturday night cruise from Wisconsin. And it's like, interesting, okay. But, so, I don't know. Chief, how's it going? Do we know?
The cruise, you're
Yeah.
talking in general, yeah, well, the last two Saturdays, the weather has been sketchy, so it has probably impacted the numbers.
Oh, that's right, this past Saturday, it was,
Yeah, it
stormy.
was, yeah, it got bad. That said, I know that the people are most closely involved with it are really working hard to try to have voluntary compliance, because like I said, like we discussed a lot, it's a public road, and it's not an organized event per se. It's not sanctioned by the city of Coon Rapids. It's just a bunch of people who get on a public road and show off their cars. And it requires a lot of informal pressure to get people to not be annoying to the neighborhood. And so things pop up from time to time, and we do our best to address them as we're able to, but it's a unwieldy beast, that's for sure, of event. But it's really nice. I know people who like classic cars, I'm sure, are thrilled by it. Its presence, for sure.
Mr. Mayor?
All right.
Yeah,
Councilmember Geisler?
I continue to get, I think the majority of the complaints since Ward 4 is really where most of the cruising occurs. And so as things come up, we're looking for point solutions. That's where we got to, could we put people parking on the grass, right? There was one section of a frontage road that got posted as no parking, those kinds of things are, as they come up, we're working to address those to try and mitigate any issues. So, we are trying to make sure that it's better for the neighborhood. And I got some stuff this week, and I think we're going to look at a few other options to make it a little better for different neighborhoods as they are impacted. But we're doing our best to make it work within our ability to make change.
All right, very good, thank you. Other business? Mr. Stemmo?
Mayor, Council, no, not really at this time. It's a pretty quiet time of the summer. Most of the events have already been canceled. There's not a lot of fun things to talk about other than the farmers market is now open on Wednesday afternoons at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, but beyond that, there aren't a lot of city-sponsored events happening at this point.
We should have Mr. Anderson zoom in if he's not going to come to the meeting, so at least give us the Bunker Hills update.
Yeah, I can vouch for Bunker Hills that it's very busy from a golf perspective right now. Kendall's, the restaurant is open, both to indoor and outdoor seating, obviously under very modified conditions, but they're starting to see some of the events come back again in modified ways in August and September, and so from a business standpoint, that's very welcome news as we certainly were impacted in the early months of this season. But from a golf perspective, people are out playing, trying to recreate and do things that they can that are allowed, and certainly Bunker Hills has been one of the places that's benefited from that.
We were at Kendall's last Wednesday night for an event, and between that and the golf, Wednesday night men's golf league, it was like old times. They were parked all the way out, and it was nice to see that many folks there. But
Yeah.
Ms. Lensmeyer?
I would just like to let folks know that we are open for absentee voting here at City Hall from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday, and we'll be open Saturday, August 8. And so if there's, is that right? Sorry. If you wanted to vote in person that day, direct balloting, where you can insert your ballot into the machine, starts on August 4 if you'd prefer that over the envelope process. We have voting information on the city's website on the elections page, including your sample ballot, or you can visit mnvotes.org, put in your address, click on what's on my ballot, and see it that way.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember
I
Griscoviac.
think we're getting close to the formal completion of the Hanson Overpass Bridge, and we have an event planned for
August 4th.
4th.
weeks. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yep, the invitation to the city officials, county officials, and so forth, others who will be speaking, went out last week, and so I also copied everybody on that. So look forward to that. Should be a great event. Let's plan for some good weather, and if not, we'll go underneath the bridge and have it underneath. So we'll make it work one way or the other.
Nice to see that finally completed. It seemed like it was a big, long tail end of that project for some reason, so.
They're making us pay for the end, though. They've been out there with the cutters, putting those really deep, sharp grooves in there, and you can hardly drive over it right now.
boy.
You gotta slow it down to about 10 and 2.
Good.
All right. Is that it? Any other business to come before council? All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Kicker, second by Geisler to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned.